What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back in the building with another video. First and foremost, I do want to say shout out to everybody who comes to the channel, who's been enjoying the standalone videos, man. Shout out to everybody who came out and watched the newest video on the channel. If you guys want to continue to see those things and you guys are enjoying them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It does help the videos be seen. But I got a good one today, and I am in such a great mood. It is truly Gamers Christmas. And I think this last week or so has really defined where we are at in the gaming space, man. So I want to talk about a couple specific things. And, you know, so much is going on in the last week or so, but it has been a phenomenal time in gaming. And I think at the end of the day, we are all winning. So I want to get into two specific things. And this is just going to be a real happy video, man, because I'm excited. And these two things made me extremely happy this week. One, I just wanted to get into a little bit of the Oblivion remaster release and how that went down and what I thought about that. First and foremost, I am a new Elder Scrolls fan by the way of Starfield. I didn't play Elder Scrolls growing up. I did watch Elder Scrolls a lot, and I had friends that played it, and, you know, I enjoyed from afar, but I was never the biggest Elder Scrolls fan. So for them to do something like this, and to be honest, this rumor has been swirling around for probably a couple years now. It's been something we've been just kind of talking about in DMs, and you see it pop up here and there on your timeline, and it's been something that's been talked about for a few years now, and it really ramped up once Xbox purchased, you know, ZeniMax Bethesda. But, you know, it's great to see that it actually happened, and it's not that it just happened, it's the way it happened. It might go down as, you know, one of the most influential game-defining remasters ever made. I know that's a mouthful, but ultimately the time, the care, the love that they took to complete this game. Shout out to Virtuoso as well, who actually did a lot of the main work in partner with Bethesda to get this done. But yeah, you can see all of that, and it shined through. This was not a traditional remaster, and the world took notice. This wasn't just a gift to RPG fans. And that's what makes the Oblivion remaster so special. We get a lot of remasters for games that are, you know, 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, that have big fan bases, that are loved games, that got high Metacritic scores, that won Game of the Year awards. But there are very few games that carry the level of nostalgia and just cachet that something like Oblivion does. You know, in my age group, I'm a little bit older. That was the defining RPG for a lot of people that I engage with. A lot of people that, you know, I talked video games about, that was a defining RPG for very many people. And you see that when this announcement was made. And then you see the time, care, and love, and they completely redid this thing from inside and out. It is still the same Oblivion game. Obviously, UE5 was used as a skin, but the way they implemented it was masterful. You know, it's exactly how you want to do a remaster. You want to bring everything up to date as much as possible. You want to make everything that didn't make sense back then, or even some things that weren't capable or possible from a like hardware standpoint, you want to fix those things. You don't want to take the integrity out of the game or really mess with the source material. You want to let that shine through, and they found a perfect balance. And they just announced that I believe 4 million players have played it already. You know, they don't announce hard sales numbers, but that is incredible for a game that randomly dropped on a Tuesday morning, right? I know it was a worst kept secret and we heard about it for a week, but, you know, getting that announcement was huge for a lot of people. So shout out to them. And that was huge this week. The other thing was more of a unknown quantity, I would say. So first and foremost, I got to give credit where credit is due. Shout out to Kepler, shout out to Samfo Interactive for Expedition 33. My, you have made a phenomenal, genre-defining, truly generational title. Shout out to them. That was the other game that came out, and it was ironic that we started this at Oblivion because I saw a lot of people, you know, saying that Oblivion, the remaster, was going to overshadow the release of Expedition 33, and that absolutely was not the case. When we first saw this game at the reveal back in 2024, sorry, at the Xbox Showcase, you knew it was special. We knew it was special. We said it. We've talked about this game, you know, in periods of time when it is relevant, and we've all thought the same thing. That it was special, that it was going to do something different. There was just something about the art style, about the care, about the angle. This wasn't a traditional JRPG. It took elements from a bunch of different games, but in a very, very unique way. And that shined through when the game released. You know, it's the highest Metacritic score if you care about those things this year. I think it's sitting at like a 92. But beyond all of that, it has started a conversation that I think needed to happen in this gaming industry, and that's what is going on and why are good video games so difficult to develop. Now, good is a subjective word here. Good is different for everybody. I don't want to hang my hat on that word specifically, but why is it such a convoluted process to make video games? A team of 30 devs, this is their very, very first game, Sandford Interactive, have made a game that seemingly has been able to capture the entire gaming industry and have them feeling ways that people haven't felt in 20, 30 years. I'm seeing people talk about this is immediately on their top game all-time list. I'm seeing generational people saying this is gonna genre defining. This is gonna change everything. It has started some interesting conversations. A team of 30 devs making a turn-based JRPG or turn-based RPG, right? Heavily turn-based RPG, has been able to start a conversation about the direction of creativity in the gaming industry. It's odd where these things come from, but you never know. And that's actually how special this game is. That's truly the best compliment you can give it. Now, they just announced that they did sold over 1 million copies in 3 days. That is fucking phenomenal. People, please go out and support these games. Now, this is not the first time we're getting small devs out here putting these AAA devs to shame. This happens, 10 times a year if you're paying attention, depending on the games you play with or play to. So this is more and more happening in the industry as people say, oh, well, the industry is contracting and we're losing and layoffs and people, all this talent is getting laid off. There are so many devs out there who have an opportunity to do things like Expedition 33 more so often now than ever before. And I think that's the cool part. And we need to support devs, and it's good to see that they're getting the support that they deserve. So just wanted to drop that on you guys. Let me know what you guys been playing. Have you guys played either one of those games? What's been the most exciting news for you this week? But other than that, I just want to announce I do have a TikTok. Hit me up there as well. I'll put that link on the screen. Other than that, man, appreciate the support on the videos. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. Peace out, everybody.